this time they're forecasting that we get 5 to 7 inches in the Chicagoland area. So yeah, I left home and pretty much everything was dry, and a ways into my trip we started getting a little precipitation, and I started noticing like salt trucks sitting off to the side of the road. I was kind of wondering what was going on, but yeah, I didn't really check the weather, so this one, yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere. But yeah, I was just talking to the Amazon worker back in Shanahan, and pretty much I'm guessing they're saying it's going to be 5 to 7 inches. And right now I have one truck down. It's actually in the shop for planned maintenance, as well as we've been supposed to have the compressor for the air brakes replaced, but initially when I took it in, they said they were going to do that, and they turned around and replaced the governor instead. So pretty much it fixed part of the issue, but it stopped it from building too much pressure and then began to shoot off a couple times a minute. So that just became kind of annoying. So it fixed the air pressure issue, but by them not replacing the compressor as well, it, like I said, blew off every minute or so, at least once, sometimes twice. So that became an issue. So I took it back in to have the compressor replaced, and right before I got it back to the shop, I'll say maybe 100 miles before, we had a engine light pop on while my driver was coming back from a trip. So that's being addressed, and yeah, it just hit 200,000 miles, so here shortly they should be changing it out. So that's another thing we got going on. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to stay in it. I've been off like the last 2 days, taking care of some stuff at home, and yeah, tonight is like my first night back out, and now we're in like the midst of a snowstorm. So we're just gonna stay with it and keep everything going. But yeah, I wanted to make a quick video and kind of just touch bases with you guys. I know I've been kind of out of the loop the last week or so, kind of just working on different stuff, training drivers. My owner operator, who's pretty much just running under my Amazon account and authority, he rejected his first load, and he was saying that he was having mechanical issues with his truck. But we had already agreed to a specific time he was supposed to leave at to get to the load ahead of time. He didn't even call me until 30 minutes after the said time he was supposed to leave, and then he had an issue with the app, which also should have been addressed earlier in the day, because I set him up with the app like a day in advance, and I guess he was having some type of issue with his location on the app, so I had to guide him through that. And we have 2 different phone carriers, so that was a task and an issue. We got that figured out. Then he realized he was running late, so once he got the pretty much truck going and on the road, he claimed the truck was idling high and it was running funny. And this is all occurring when it was like -1 degrees here in Chicago. So my personal opinion is he just didn't want to run once he realized how cold it was. But he claimed the truck was idling high, and then at some point in his trip he couldn't go over 55 miles per hour. Now, when it's your account, if I'm in my truck and I'm halfway to a pickup and it won't go over, 55 miles per hour, then I'm gonna do 55 miles per hour to the origin to pick up, and then 55 miles per hour to drop off, and then deal with that issue afterwards. But for some reason, that was reason enough for him to need to bag out of the trip. And I'm telling him, hey, we got 2 other trucks out running right now in the same area. So if you run into an issue where you break down, hey, we'll come get you, come get the load, and, you know, you'll be fine. It ain't your truck. So, you know, if they just gave you a truck, he had just got the truck. So I'm saying if they just gave you a truck, you know, and it's not up to par, then we're going to need to get you, you know, another truck. But at this point, that's not your fault. But yeah, he wanted to bag out of the trip and say, hey man, I just can't do it. So, you know, we had agreed that him running under my account, he would run at 25% of the total gross of the truck is what he would pay me. You know, but because he bagged out of that load, which I had to end up calling ROC and having them reject the load. So because he ended up bagging out of that load, in return, I went up on his rate. So I told him, hey, I'm gonna have to charge you 30%. So he pretty much said 30%, you know, you already charging me 25. And I said, hey man, I've never had a rejection. You know, that's gonna reduce the amount of loads I see. You know, that you're not the only one on the account. You know, I have a driver as well as myself that has to run under the account. So what you did, the rejection affects my performance score and, you know, the loads I see and the money me and my driver makes. So, you know, I went up on his rate from 25 to 30%. And at the point, I don't know if he thought I was joking or not, but yeah, once that paycheck came and I actually deducted 30%, you know, he's been seeming like he's been a little upset about that. But, you know, for me, it's just kind of like, you know, I have to look out for me and my driver as well. So, like I said, I've never rejected a load, and had his truck actually broke down, you know, I would understand a lot more. But the truck never actually broke down. It was just a situation of, you know, him bagging out of the load. He made it back home fine, and, you know, in my personal opinion, he bagged out because it was extremely cold, and I don't think he just wanted to run, you know, in that type of weather. So that's my personal opinion. But either way, you know, I got my first rejection because of that. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with you know, the guy who's running under my account and renting his own truck. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this one works out. But yeah, this is just something that you all are going to run into, you know, when dealing with drivers and stuff of that nature. You know, it's not going to always be peaches and cream or a, you know, easy situation. You know, it's rough trying to, you know, manage other individuals, you know, under, you know, your supervision, and see to it that they make, you know, the money they want to make, as well as, you know, come into, you know, the situation doing what they need to do. So yeah, I'm gonna focus on this road. It's getting kind of messy out here. Hopefully they get the salt trucks out pretty quick. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. And my driver that's actually operating my second truck, once we get that out of the shop, is actually squared away. So, you know, a lot of that training process is done. And yeah, we just need to get the second truck back out of the shop, and we should be good to go. So that being said, I ain't gonna hold you guys up. Like I said, I'm gonna focus on this road and get these 2 stops knocked out. This run was about 80 miles. 70 or 80 miles for right over $4 a round. Like I said, I've been off the last couple of days, so yeah, I'm gonna knock these 2 stops out and kind of play it by ear, see what this weather does, how the salt trucks get out, and go from there. So you guys stay safe out there, take it easy, and have a good one. Appreciate you.